We continue now with our conversation with Donald Trump counselor Kellyanne Conway. A short time ago, we spoke about the escalating fight to repeal Obamacare, along with a shot over the bow of her boss from Vice President Joe Biden. All right, Kellyanne, we're back with Kellyanne Conway. Take a listen to Joe Biden, always the entertaining guy to listen to when he had something to say about Donald Trump. Please listen.
Grow up, Donald. Grow up. Time to be an adult. You're president. You got to do something. Show us what you have.
All right, Kellyanne, the reaction from the guy who I think threatened or wanted to take Donald Trump out behind the schoolyard or something to that effect.
Boy, it's really disappointing to hear the vice president speak that way. Not surprising. To what is he referring? The fact that his Democratic Party, under his watch, he's been the #2 guy in the country and in the Democratic Party. They've lost over 1,000 state legislative seats. They've lost over a dozen governorships, over a dozen senators. They've lost 68 House seats since he got there. They lost the elections in 2010, 2014, 2016, in large part because of the policies that he supported, like the awful, unaffordable, inaccessible Care Act, Obamacare, like these draconian taxes and regulations on small businesses and on the rest of us, like the idea, all these bad trade deals that never benefit Americans and American workers. And it's Donald Trump who came in. You know, without Joe Biden and Barack Obama, there may not have been a President Donald Trump and a Vice President Mike Pence. So I'd like to tell the Vice President, thanks for the non-advice. We'll ignore the insults and the slights and very much appreciate all the failed policies that allowed us to usher in a new era of hopefulness and buoyancy, fresh blood and excitement in this administration. You're going to see President Donald Trump very quickly, Eric, deliver and perform and be accountable to results as he's always done in his wildly successful business. It's going to be brand new. I think not just the tone, but the content in Washington.
And one of the things, I'm glad you brought that up, one of the things that Donald Trump has promised to do is repeal and replace Obamacare. President Obama weighed in on his signature legislation. Listen to this, pretty surprising.
Now is the time when Republicans, I think, have to go ahead and show their cards. If, in fact, they have a program that would genuinely work better, and they want to call it whatever they want, they can call it Trump Care, they can call it McConnell Care or Ryan Care. If it actually works, I will be the first one to say, great. You should have told me that back in 2009. I asked.
Okay. Well, I think the Republicans were trying to help in 2009. They were completely shut out.
Yes.
They couldn't vote for Obamacare. But how's this? Trump care?
He's just being sarcastic. I don't know why. It's not very becoming. Here's the thing. I was in the closed-door meeting with the Republican conference on Wednesday that was led by our Vice President-elect Mike Pence. The main topic of conversation was repealing and replacing Obamacare, having a very serious, substantive conversation about how exactly to do that, knowing that millions of people rely upon it, knowing that pre-existing condition coverage is popular. But, Eric, we did try to help in 2009. We were rebuffed and won everything not nailed to the ground in 2010. Because Obamacare was the first major entitlement passed in this country without a single vote from one of the two political parties. It passed without a single Republican vote. His party owns it, and it will not be a great part of his legacy because you have millions of Americans who are paying higher premiums, 116% increase in Arizona, 53% increase in Pennsylvania, by way of example. You've got people with fewer choices, lower quality, less access, and more frustration and less certainty. The biggest lie, the biggest piece of fake news I heard in the last 10 years, if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. If you like your plan, you can keep your plan. Big lies that had real consequences for Americans. Donald Trump and Mike Pence are going to allow you to buy your health insurance across state lines. They're going to allow you to have a health savings account where you control more of your spending, your health care spending. They're going to permit individual pools. They're going to block grant Medicaid to the states. I mean, there's so many positive free market reforms in health care that are more patient-centric and less government-centric. And people are excited. Look, the Republicans won in 2010, 14, and 16 in large part because of Obamacare. They nominated Romney Care in 2012 and couldn't talk about the issue.
I only have about half a minute or so, but is there a way to get the Democrats to play ball and work with Donald Trump? Chuck Schumer's already said we're not going to work with him. Nancy Pelosi said forget it, we're not working with him.
Well, look at where they represent, though. Chuck Schumer represents New York, and she represents San Francisco, not exactly representative of the rest of the country, where people are suffering under Obamacare. I believe those 10 Democratic senators that are up for re-election next year in states that Donald Trump won, in 5 of those states he won by double digits, I think they'll play ball on Obamacare repeal, and I think they'll play ball on tax relief package because they know what their constituents want. If they're being honest to those they represent, they will vote according to those constituents and not according to petty partisan politics.
Kellyanne Conway, always great to spend some time with. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Eric.